Hello gamers! Today we will be taking a more in-depth look at CAS. As you should know by now, CAS, which stands for Creativity, Activity, and Service, is one of the three main cores of the IB diploma. But what exactly does that entail? According to the International Baccalaureate Organization, CAS aims to, quote, provide a counterbalance to the academic rigor of the educational program and, quote, involves a range of academic activities alongside the academic studies of the students. Essentially, it serves as a means to ensure that the diploma isn't just purely academic. After all, schools look beyond academics. Schools want to learn more about what academic activities you partake in, as well as the skills you develop. Fortunately, most, if not all of you, will have been doing CAS without even realizing it. CAS can be any activity that falls outside of the range of purely academics. Thus, most extracurriculars fall within the category. Things like being part of a club, being part of a sport, painting, actively exercising, learning a new language, etc. These are all things that can count as CAS. Well, so long as they fit within the certain criteria. That criteria being that activities cannot result in, firstly, monetary profits for the student. Secondly, proselytizing, which is converting someone to a different religion. Thirdly, cannot result in earning credits for the students. And fourthly, cannot involve any coursework from any diploma or school courses. Beyond that, CAS experiences have many different moving parts to them. Firstly, the way the IBO keeps track of these activities is through logging hours. You must track the amount of hours you spend on each activity over the course of a month, citing specific days. Fortunately, once again, if you have any ongoing extracurriculars, this should be relatively easy to track. Of course, the more activities you have, the harder it is to keep track of every individual hour within that activity. But it's manageable. To add on, every CAS activity has a CAS supervisor, someone to monitor your work and progress within an activity. Evidently, the supervisor works as someone to corroborate your work, somewhat like, say, a first-hand witness putting in a good word for you. They're there to help you and there to monitor your progress and make sure that you are truly doing what you're doing. There aren't too many requirements for CAS supervisors, only two minor ones. The first one being that the supervisor must be over the age of 25, and the second one being that the supervisor cannot be a family member. If you have trouble with finding a CAS supervisor for activities, like I did, you can ask any teacher, and I'm sure they'd be likely to help. I asked my TOK teacher, Ms. Rutigliano, and she was so sweet and is now my supervisor for most of my activities, so thank you. Finally, in order for one to maintain a CAS activity, you must provide proof for said activity in the form of evidence and reflections. These reflections are just that, you reflecting over the current activity you just took part in. Furthermore, the point of these reflections is to provide evidence for the IBO that you, the diploma student, are achieving the 7 learner outcomes. What are the learner outcomes? We'll get to that in a later video. Additionally, reflections are so large that they will require a video of their own in order to properly write one. As for the evidence side of things, these are things like videos and pictures of the event you just partook in, and so they should be easy. You just need to remember to take them often. It is worth mentioning that CAS also requires the IB diploma students to take part in a CAS project, which is similar to a CAS experience, although with different rules and regulations and a different outcome. I will explain these in a future video. Anyway, hopefully you are all caught up with what CAS is and what it requires of you. I wish you luck, and hopefully you'll join me on my next video.